Alright, so now it's been a few days since I made my last video on Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced. The game has been out now for like 11 days from the moment of this recording, and I think I've had a pretty good judgment so far on how the game feels and how improved it is compared to the original, of course. And to be honest, I'm halfway through the story right now. I haven't finished it as soon as I would have hoped. That's also because of the other games that has been released so far. But halfway through the story, and I did a lot of the other side quests as well, a lot of the new content that's been added in the game. And I think I got a pretty good idea of how the game is going to feel like, and personally I do really like this one. Obviously it's a massive refresh, it's massively refreshing to play this one compared to Assassin's Creed Shadows, which basically felt like after like 20 hours of playing you basically didn't complete anything yet. I think Assassin's Creed Shadows was way too big for my liking, and it's basically Assassin's Creed Shadows was comparable to the previous other Assassin's Creed games like Valhalla, Odyssey and Origins, where you had like massive amounts of content and side quests and things to do. Which on paper it sounds good, of course, because you never run out of things to do in a game, and you pay like full price for these games, so you expect like a lot of hours you can put into these games. But it also feels like you basically get lost into the entire game, and you basically don't ever know what you are actually playing, and you forget the whole story as well. If you ask me right now if I want to tell how the story of Assassin's Creed Shadows goes, I basically can't tell you. I basically didn't follow it because you had so many quests, and I never really got interested in the story of Assassin's Creed Shadows. And this one in Black Flag is a lot more like manageable to follow, in my opinion. So I personally prefer like the smaller games of Assassin's Creed, where they had like a compact story to play and you can basically complete it in like 20, 30, 40 hours. I think Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced is right now is around 30 to 40 hours. I personally don't have the exact numbers of it, but that's what it feels like. And if I look at the amount of hours I put into it right now, and if I look at my completion rate, it's probably around that time. You can obviously do it, you can obviously speed run it to make it a little bit faster. But I personally, when I bought this game, I basically wanted to complete every single quest there was to do in this game. I wanted to basically 100% it, maybe not platinum already, but I wanted to just basically complete everything that there was to do, and I want to find all of the loot and all of the chests that has been added to this game. Because for the people who are not aware, they basically added the entire underwater section in this game. In original that came out in 2013, there were already like a few spots where you can dive underwater, but those were specifically created for missions. And now you can actually search like a lot of chests near like the main lands, and you can basically find loot and other stuff as well to find, and this will help you to complete the game as well. Which it's good that they added that, because I always felt like a bit jarring that you basically play an entire game that is dedicated around the sea and the ocean, and you basically can't dive there. I know it was like a technical limitation of the time when the game came out on the PlayStation 3, and the map at that time was already so massive, so it's understandable why it wasn't there in the original, but it's nice that they added that in this one. I also do have to say, I'm still really impressed about the graphics of this game, because there are just sometimes when the lighting hits perfectly, it's like basically the most beautiful Assassin's Creed game that's ever been released, in my opinion. And it's just nice to see that, because I think Assassin's Creed Shadows had its good moments with the graphics last year, but it basically depended all on the season you were playing as, and there were some times that it didn't look as pretty, and I feel like this one, it also has to do with the setting, of course, because the Caribbean is a lot easier to make more beautiful compared to like the Japan version of Assassin's Creed. Which is that's just one thing that I notice every single time I play it. The graphics are exceptional, and like I said, the smaller map is great. It actually feels like you can get to know every single location you visit, which wasn't really the case with the previous Assassin's Creeds, because the map was so big you basically never visited some of the spots, and you basically have to visit every single one of them in this game, and that's nice for a change. And also the one gameplay change that they made, obviously the combat is like a lot different compared to the original. The original was basically just like dashing some attacks and immediately can finish someone off. and now you basically have to put in some effort, but it's still like on the easier side compared to previous Assassin's Creed games, especially the open world ones. And I personally think that one of the better features that they added in this game is the dedicated crouch button, which is obviously a newer feature in the newer Assassin's Creed games, and this one just makes the game like slightly more easy to play and like more fun to play in my opinion, because that was like the one feature that I wish that it was in the original games, which it wasn't. It was only like available when you are near a bush, and now you can do it basically every single time you want, which is nice, and it does make the game feel a lot more smooth in my opinion. And yeah, and also so far I really enjoy this game. Obviously it's not really comparable to like a newer Assassin's Creed game like Shadows of Valhalla, because those games are basically like not so heavily story focused in my opinion, but they are basically like just chasing like quests and side quests and like lots of content to do. And this one, Assassin's Creed Black Flag, is like a lot less, but it's actually nice to play like a game that it's a little bit smaller in skill. But you know, the ocean part of it makes the game feel like a lot bigger in my opinion than how it actually really is, because if you basically put like the entire land sections of the game next to each other, the map is probably going to be like really small, but that is really not an issue when the ocean is so huge, like in, you know. So yeah, so far my opinion on this game is that it's actually like really enjoyable to play, even though it's built off an older Assassin's Creed game, and it was always going to be a question of like, is this game going to hold up compared to the newer ones? I know like the majority of the community prefer the older games, but you know, if you look at the sales, like the newer Assassin's Creed games are still very popular, and I think a lot of people enjoy like single player games that have such long stories and like a huge amount of content as well. Because in those games you can basically put in like 80 or 100 hours and you still have to complete the game, and I think a lot of people do enjoy that version of the game. That's why I think this game is like lower price compared to that one. This one is like $60 right now, and I do think that it's going to be on sale very soon. But you know, for someone like me who played the original Assassin's Creed games as well and the newer ones as well, and I've enjoyed both of them in their own way. I know obviously some of them were better than the others. I still think this is like really fun to play. It's nice to have actually a world where you can like basically remember every single detail about the map, and you know, you can remember all of the spots you visited, and that was really not the case with all of the like newer generation Assassin's Creed games. So for me it's like a really enjoyable experience. I gave my first impressions of the game so far, those were very good, and so far halfway through the game they are still very good. I still really enjoy the game, and I can't wait to finish it. Obviously I'll try to do that as soon as possible, because all you know, Halo campaign Evolved is also coming out like next week, and I want to cover that one as well, and I want to cover the entire campaign, because to me like that game is also really special, and I basically don't want to wait to finish this game like in a month's time or something. And I'm always thinking about like what I want to play in the future, and I haven't decided on that one yet. The only one that I have on my mind right now is Halo. So I'll try to finish Assassin's Creed this week, and if I finish it I want to make a full review of the game, and I will actually give my fair judgment of some people who didn't buy the game, and I want to, you know, basically give my review of it, and if it's worth buying if you don't buy Assassin's Creed games every year. Plus I can understand that if you only have like one game a year to spend, you're going to spend it on a game you can play like the entire year, and this is not like really like the game for you. But you know, I'll give my full opinion on it in my full review, and I want to thank you for watching this one today, and I will see you in the next one, probably tomorrow. So thank you, bye bye.